Coming up on the Rockbridge Report.
If you have a vaccinated situation, your family's vaccinated, enjoy the holidays indoor with your family in a family setting.
Dr. Fauci advises Americans on plans for the holiday season as fears over the Omicron variant grow. What he and the president are saying. New details continue to emerge after a deadly school shooting in Michigan, what authorities are saying, and why the suspect's parents could be charged. A recount is underway for two races for the Virginia House of Delegates, how these two races could change the balance of the state government. The WNL soccer team heads to Greensboro for the first Final Four in program history, what to expect from the Generals with a trip to the national championship on the line. And temperatures are close to 70 in Lexington today, but will it last for the weekend? Weather anchor Drew Thompson has the 5-day forecast. All this and more on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Shauna Muckle. Later on, I'll be joined by Adam Lamberti, Drew Thompson's weather, and James Laverty's sports. President Joe Biden outlined new steps to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. This latest strategy comes as the first cases of the new Omicron variant have been recorded in the U.S. Chris Wynn has all the latest.
We entered this winter from a position of strength compared to where America was last winter.
In Washington, D.C., President Joe Biden unveiling his winter plan for fighting COVID-19. Air travelers entering the U.S. must now test negative for COVID within a day of departure, regardless of vaccination status or nationality. The Biden administration also extending a mask requirement for domestic travel on planes, trains, and public transit through the middle of March.
What you do when you travel, you take care, you're prudent. Travel always increases somewhat the risk of getting infected.
The announcement just one day after officials confirmed the first recorded case of the Omicron variant in the United States and California. The White House plans to increase vaccine and booster outreach with a focus on seniors and children.
We're going to launch hundreds of new family vaccination clinics across the country. These sites are going to offer vaccinations for the whole family, one stop.
Private insurers will now be required to reimburse the costs of at-home testing kits, and community sites like health centers and rural clinics will offer free at-home kits for those not covered by private insurance.
The bottom line, this winter, you'll be able to test for free in the comfort of your home and have some peace of mind.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Health officials are giving people who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 the green light to celebrate the holidays with their families. But there are new concerns as the first cases of the Omicron variant have appeared in the U.S. The first was in California, and there's one in Minnesota now too, and in 25 countries and territories. But public health authorities don't know if the new variant is more easily transmissible than previous variants, or the severity of infection it causes. Dr. Anthony Fauci said during a CNN Global Town Hall, the best defense is to get vaccinated.
If you have a vaccinated situation, your family's vaccinated, enjoy the holidays indoor with your family in a family setting. Many of us will have to travel during the holidays. What you do when you travel, you take care, you're prudent.
Fauci is also urging vaccinated people to make sure they get booster shots. He says there's no reason to wait for a newer booster version that specifically addresses Omicron. School nurses nationwide are facing intense backlash from parents for enforcing quarantine and other COVID-related policies. The New York Times reported that the increased anger is causing many to quit. While school nurses in both Rockbridge County and Lexington City are leading pandemic prevention, they face different amounts of parental backlash based on which school system they work for. Reporter Brianna Hatch has the rest of the story.
School nurses already juggled multiple jobs before the pandemic hit, from treating sick students to completing vision and hearing screenings. Now, local school nurses are in charge of testing, contact tracing, quarantining, and vaccinations. Maury River Middle School nurse Penny Allen is the leader of pandemic prevention for all 6 Rockbridge County public schools.
It's been super busy. I mean, I've had to work weekends and, I know sometimes I'm here like at 9 o'clock at night calling people.
Waddell Elementary nurse Brittany Campbell said the most challenging task has been developing up-to-date policies that can be implemented in the classroom.
But when you come into a classroom with 17 5-year-olds, social distancing and masking looks a lot different than it looks like on paper.
Wilburn Downing Middle School nurse Beth Jewell said that treating every symptom as a potential indicator for COVID has also been a difficult adjustment.
I need to rethink how I look at things.
But Campbell and Jewell both said they face no backlash from parents. Campbell said parents in Lexington City have a different mindset than those in the county schools.
They have a good, healthy respect for this virus and what we need to do to keep schools open.
Allen said she's received the most anger from parents after quarantining their child for COVID exposure. Some students have been quarantined multiple times, which frustrates parents.
It's understandable, they're having to take off work, it's changed how they do things as well, and it's put a burden on them.
Allen said Rockbridge County Schools currently have 42 students and staff in quarantine, but fully vaccinated students do not have to quarantine. So the schools are offering their own vaccine clinics to speed up the process. According to Allen, Rockbridge County Schools is also starting a weekly voluntary testing service for all staff members. Currently, 90 staff members have already signed up to participate. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Brianna Hatch.
One of the 2 vote recounts that will settle whether Republicans have reclaimed the majority in the House of Delegates is underway today in Virginia Beach. 2 Democratic candidates requested recounts after certified results from the November election showed their GOP challengers ahead by slim margins. Republicans, who won 52 districts according to the certified results, have said they are confident their candidates' leads will hold. If the party does hold on to both wins, it will mark a GOP sweep in last month's election. Turning now to Michigan, where new details are emerging about the 15-year-old gunman who stormed a high school on Tuesday. Authorities say there were concerns about Ethan Crumbley's behavior leading up to the attack that killed 4 students and injured 7 others. CNN's Shimon Prokopez reports.
The 15-year-old accused of killing 4 and injuring others at Oxford High School is now charged as an adult.
I will enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
Both the suspect and his parents appearing in court virtually. He faces 24 charges, including terrorism causing death and 4 counts of first-degree murder.
In terms of the premeditation required for a first-degree murder charge, this just wasn't even a close call, unfortunately. This was deliberate, this was planned well in advance, and disturbingly so.
Investigators say they discovered troubling videos on the suspect's cell phone from the night before the deadly incident. While they did not give specifics,
he talked about shooting and killing students the next day at Oxford High School.
The Oakland County Sheriff says the suspect had meetings with school officials the day before and the day of the shooting for concerning behavior and another undisclosed issue.
In fact, the parents were brought in the morning of the shooting and had a face-to-face meeting with the school. We did not learn of that meeting, nor of the content of that meeting, until after the shooting.
Videos posted on social media showing the chaos and terror happening as some students and teachers barricaded and evacuated their classrooms.
I heard screams come from the hallway, and the first gunshot happened, and my teacher, he walked into the classroom, he locked the door, he told us to call 911, and then we heard the rest of the gunshots go off, more screams.
While Oxford High is blocked off with yellow police tape as authorities continue their investigation, outside the school a memorial is growing, a small way to remember and honor the 4 teenagers who died in the tragedy. Among them, Hannah St. Juliana, who played basketball. The 14-year-old was set to make her high school debut in the sport she loved Tuesday night. 17-year-old Madison Baldwin was in her senior year and already accepted to several colleges according to her family. Justin Schilling was 17 years old and the co-captain of the bowling team. He passed away at a local hospital Wednesday morning. And Tate Meir, a star football player at Oxford High.
He was smart, he could play well, he was really good at football, and he's really good at wrestling. And me and him used to joke around, me and him used to play, and he used to have like this cool smile.
Javon Pittman, emotional, describing the loss of his classmates.
I can't see Justin. I can't see 2 of my closest friends. Tay was like a brother to me, and Justin was too.
The next hearing in the case is set for December 13th. Meanwhile, prosecutors are considering charging Crumbley's parents. Authorities say their gun was used in the shooting, and it had not been properly secured at home. Congressional leaders reached an agreement today on a spending bill that would keep the government running through mid-February. But a temporary government shutdown over the weekend is still possible, as some Republican senators object to the Biden administration's COVID-19 vaccine mandates. The measure would keep spending at current levels into February. If the House approves the measure as expected, it would await Senate action before a midnight Friday deadline. Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, Buena Vista is turning to murals to spruce up its downtown area. Our Tori Johnson will be live with details.
Drew Thompson. Overall, pleasant weather in the next few days, except for the wind advisory that will last through tomorrow evening. I'll have more details later. Stay tuned for the full weather forecast.
And later, the MLB enters a lockout after negotiations hit a stalemate. James Laverty will have the latest on what it means for the players in the upcoming season when the Rockbridge Report returns.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Adam Lamberti. Blank walls in the city of Buena Vista are going through attractive, attention-getting mural makeovers. Tori Johnson is live in Buena Vista with the story. Tori?
Small businesses need attention more than ever during the pandemic. In Buena Vista, they're taking an artistic approach to the issue.
Colorful murals are popping up around downtown Buena Vista, and residents hope they increase tourism and draw customers to local businesses. Sybil Adams, of Flowers and Things at Sycamore Lane, hopes her shop's recently installed mural will be a good advertisement.
Part of the reason that we decided to add the mural was because people couldn't find our store.
Lisa Floyd of Floyd's Artworks designed the mural. It incorporates the flowers and home decor that Adams sells.
Adams hopes visitors will pose for photos with the mural or come inside Flowers and Things to make a purchase.
Floyd has painted murals in Buena Vista at JJ's Meat Shack, near Domino's, and most recently at Flowers and Things. She has high hopes for art to enrich Buena Vista.
So to take a little pride and get the people, excited about the town they live in and want to raise their kids and their grandkids in, that's gold.
Lou Hamilton, local contractor and owner of JJ's Meat Shack, hopes the murals will encourage travelers from the cities to come spend their money in Buena Vista.
And I've never lost the vision of what Buena Vista can come back to be, and I see it growing.
Murals with the word love in them can be registered with Virginia's LoveWorks tourism initiative, like this installation in Buena Vista's town square. The art at JJ's Meat Shack is already registered, and the Flowers and Things mural could be added in the future.
I love that we're able to bring color and brightness and cheer to our community.
The murals are steadily making downtown Buena Vista a more attractive place for travelers to explore and for residents to live. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Tori Johnson.
Thanks, Tori. Hull's Angels, the nonprofit organization behind Hull's Drive-In, bought the 4 acres of land where the theater operates. But the group still needs more donations. Hull's Angels started fundraising with an initial goal of $350,000 in March 2021. They closed on the purchase of the land in October, but Hull's Angels executive director, Lauren Summers, said that the group still needs money to pay off the mortgage. Over 600 individuals and businesses have donated to Hull's so far. Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season caused historic financial damage. Drew Thompson will have the reason why. And temperatures in Lexington are nearing 70 degrees today, but will it last over the weekend? Drew Thompson will have your 5-day forecast when the Rockbridge Report returns.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Shauna Muckle. This year's Atlantic hurricane season was in the top 3 in the country's history for most storms. Along with the damage done to homes, buildings, and infrastructure along the coast, the storms also caused significant financial damage. Drew Thompson has the details on why 2021 was so costly.
This year's Atlantic hurricane season was one of the costliest on record. Part of the reason is that it's in the top 3 for the most U.S. storms. 8 named storms hit the United States in 2021, with Hurricane Ida being the most destructive storm. The hurricane season exhausted the list of 21 tropical storm names for only the 3rd year on record. Damages from 4 of them topped more than $1 billion each. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says Hurricane Ida cost more than $60 billion. The good news is the latter part of the hurricane season was quieter than forecasters had predicted. And we're back on the Rockbridge Report. I'm Drew Thompson. We're looking at a live shot of downtown Buena Vista. Overall, excellent weather today. The high of 67 was a dramatic swing from the low of 37 last night. Barometric pressure standing at 29 and 76/100 inches of mercury, and the wind speed picking up to 13 miles per hour. This is where it gets interesting, though. Well, we have overall pleasant weather. We're actually under a wind advisory and can expect gusts of up to 21 miles per hour. This will continue in effect through tomorrow evening, so make sure to hang on to your hats as you head out to Lexington's Christmas parade tomorrow. And radar shows not a storm in sight, so again, very pleasant weather. Regional conditions, overall temperatures in the 60s up into the lower 70s. Sunny throughout the region, but with a few clouds. 70 degrees in Charlottesville, 67 degrees in Lexington, and 72 degrees in Roanoke. And the next 5 days shaping up like this for you. Friday and Saturday, sunny, temperatures highs in the 60s, so again, very pleasant weather. Sunday, again, nice temperatures, sunny. Monday, though, we get a chance for some rain, decent daytime temperatures, but it gets really cold Monday night, down into the 20s. So, and then Tuesday, those low temperatures continue with a high of 43 degrees, but sunny again. So overall picture, very pleasant weekend, but with lower temperatures next week. And coming up next on the Rockbridge Report, the W&L men's soccer teams head to Greensboro to compete in the NCAA Final Four. James Laverty will have the details of what to expect as the Generals take the pitch. And later, the pandemic continues to keep kids from meeting Santa. Find out how one group is turning to technology to keep kids in touch with St. Nick during the holiday season. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm James Laverty, and it's time for your sports segment. The Washington and Lee Generals men's soccer team is marching on to the NCAA semifinals after a 3-1 victory over Messiah, the number 8 ranked team in the country. Adrian Zimmerman scored 2 goals in the match, while midfielder Michael Kuntanzira added one of his own in the 50th minute from way downtown. The Generals travel to Greensboro, North Carolina tomorrow for a 5 o'clock game versus the number 5 team in the country, Connecticut College. Should they win, the national championship will be on Saturday night at 7 p.m. against the winner of the University of Chicago versus Amherst game. And with December starting, basketball is underway here in Lexington. The Washington and Lee men's team is off to a slow 2-4 start after a 69-82 loss to Lynchburg last night to open up ODAC play. Robert DeCibio has led the way so far, averaging 21.5 points a game and shooting over 50% from beyond the arc. The Jennies play Randolph College at home Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. And the women's team is off to a hot 4-2 start after downing Shenandoah 59-48 to open up ODAC play on the road last night. They'll play Guilford at home Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. And a Major League Baseball lockout is now in place. The collective bargaining agreement between the league and Players Association expired at 11:59 Wednesday night. MLB locked the players out at approximately 12:01 right after that. Prompter's gone. The Players Association calls the lockout drastic and unnecessary. Major League Baseball's website looks a little different. That's because MLB.com has blacked out the players' images. There are currently no headshots of the players on any of the 30 websites in the league. Some content has disappeared from the sites as well. MLB.com says until a new agreement is reached, this will be the case because of limitations on content that they can display. And tonight, the Saints and the Cowboys face off in a Thursday night matchup. New Orleans head coach Sean Payton recently named Taysom Hill the starter after Trevor Siemian struggled mightily on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys are coming off a heartbreaking overtime Thanksgiving loss to the Oakland Raiders, but are getting wide receiver Amari Cooper back for the game tonight. They look to be serious Super Bowl contenders and enter the game as 6-point favorites. And to look ahead to some of the weekend matchups, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady will play the Atlanta Falcons on the road in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Last year, in that same exact game where the Bucs went on the road, they went down 24-7 in the third quarter to the Falcons, but ended up having another Brady versus the Falcons comeback, which ended on a 50-yard touchdown pass to Antonio Brown to win the game. However, for the Bucs, they're going to be without Antonio Brown for the next 3 weeks because Antonio Brown was suspended by the league for 3 games for violating the league's COVID-19 policies. And now the Monday night game is going to be the Patriots and the Bills. Patriots go into it with a half-game lead. And the winner of this one most likely will be the favorite to win the AFC. Snow is in the forecast for Monday night, so we are expecting a winter classic. And now on to a new story. As December heads around the corner, we're looking a look at one Christmas tradition that has changed since the COVID-19 pandemic. Kids have not been able to see Santa ever since. However, now a new online program is allowing them to tell Santa Claus their Christmas wish list. CNN has the story.
Come on.
Far from Santa's workshop,
We're going to look up the North Pole's coordinate. Ah, look at that. He gave it to me. Sweet.
Chuck Pock
So we'll put him in here.
knows where to find old Saint Nick.
I met Santa probably about 8 years ago.
The pandemic stopped children from going to the mall or Christmas parties to drop off their wish lists.
Last year I did no public events in person.
It also forced Santa
You see it on there? No.
to get good at using technology.
This is a bad day for computers at my place.
Basically, I am using a remote control software to get into Santa's computer.
Chuck is the president of the Lawnmont Amateur Radio Club. Tonight, he'll connect children to the North Pole.
K0ITP radio check. Anybody listening?
This is Santa at N0P, and we have sound good and clear here.
Using ham radios and computers,
Lydia, how old are you?
children get to talk to Santa again.
I'm 5 years old, she says.
Santa's workshop has more technology now. Children across the state can get on the radio and talk to him.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Are you children getting ready for Christmas? Is your tree up?
Even in a strange year, some stories stay the same.
She always says, Santa, how many cookies did you eat last night? I don't know. I was too busy to count them. Ho, ho, ho.
One conversation at a time.
Love you all. Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
The radio takes Santa into homes.
If I can make someone laugh for 10 seconds somewhere in their day, that's worth any foolishness that I might do. So
In Lawnmont, I'm Mark Salinger,
I don't know.
9 News.
N0P at the North Pole, where it is really cold outside. You don't want to spill your drink. It'll freeze before it hits the ground.